Good morning, Kankal. What is it that you see and feel when you wake up?
I think the first thing they would see would be the dark shades of blue of the incoming sunrise. It's not quite sunrise just yet. It's just a bare peak of it, where the sky starts to lighten up into that nice hue of dark blue, and the window is shining through with that light, giving some kind of help with seeing anything in the dark. That would be kind of the first thing that they would notice. They're probably layered in a bunch of blankets. Will be another thing they would notice. Just heavy.
The weight.
The weight of them on top of them, and just ache. Cold. Tired. Disoriented. And kind of shift around. It's still a bit unnerving, I feel. Like, this is not his room.
Mm-hmm.
This is not any, like, the office or lab or anything that they're used to of waking up to. And they're also, like, in a considerably clean bed and blankets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Partly the ivy is still dripping.
Yeah.
And so there's that sensation there too. And just very carefully, like, try to adjust themselves up. I'm sure there's a bit of strain with that, a bit of hurt with that, as they try to, like, adjust themselves to, like, not necessarily, like, fully sit up, but, like, help be a little bit more elevated.
Prop themselves
up. And I think the first thing they would see will be Bon.
Yeah. So, Kankal, at the side of your bed, Illuvia is draped across essentially your legs. She's asleep. She looks tired. But very at home in the shades of the blue washing over the room. And probably at the foot of his bed with, like, a nightstand and a chair sits Bon. And Bon clearly is poised in a way where Kankal is aware that they are aware that he is awake now.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't stop what they're doing. They've got probably a big pad of paper and a few different utensils, and they're just sketching out something.
I think there's definitely a hesitation in seeing Bon and looking down, seeing Illuvia. I don't think they really say anything at first. It's just kind of frozen there.
Mm-hmm. There's just this as Bon drags their little drawing utensil over the pad.
Mm-hmm. They look at Bon. They look down at Illuvia. It kind of like melts down a little bit. Just like kind of lays back down.
Mm-hmm.
Not really putting again too much effort in propping themselves up.
Yeah.
Because they still ache and hurt. She called you.
What else was she supposed to do?
They kind of look down at her, and she's she's tired. She's just draped over.
Probably clutching the blankets a little.
A little, yeah. What did she tell you?
Bon, in lieu of answering, sets down their things, and there's a rag that's thrown over the bottom board of the footboard.
Mm-hmm.
And they pick it up and they wipe their talons off and they throw it back over. And they get up with a creak of their chair. And they carefully walk around Illuvia to Kankal. And without necessarily leaning in closer, they hover the back of their hand over Kankal's forehead.
They don't stop him.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm. Bon kind of cuts and draws their hand away.
Did she tell you anything?
Wouldn't matter.
You took off the spell that was on her.
She asked.
They kind of like absentmindedly actually like start to feel.
Mm-hmm. Bon doesn't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
It's well done. Very well done.
What?
Out of character.
Oh.
The bandaging.
Okay. Sorry, the deadpan.
You're fine.
They kind of just like rub at the spot. And for just like pulling out their hand and like putting it back on top of the blankets.
Bon takes one of the blankets and like lays it over Kankal's hand, like arm.
Kankal kind of like turns a little bit, very stubbornly places the hand back out.
Bon just kind of like raising eyebrow energy.
Kankal is just glaring.
Well, did you get what you wanted out of this?
Clearly not.
Gonna do it again?
They don't answer to that.
Bon tuts. They reach over and very lightly brush Kankal's bangs a little neater.
And they kind of like try to lean out from that one. Wouldn't it be better off if I'm gone? At least plenty of others think so.
Bon rolls their eyes.
Maybe if it was justified, then wouldn't matter too much.
You know, for someone who's very smart, you are very stupid right now. And I'm going to attribute it to the ink loss.
Thanks. You did good with it.
Of course I did.
Do it often enough.
Plenty.
Still hurts like a bitch.
Of course. It's not like I had any ink to give you. Or anything else. I had to raw dog it.
Was it worth it to you?
Done more for less.
She shouldn't be here.
Who?
Her.
Illuvia?
Who else?
Well, it's not like she was gonna leave.
She should have.
I think she would have cried if I had tried to make her.
I gave her the knowledge of where her home was.
What? The other fish in the pond? No. She won't go back.
How can you be so certain?
Bon gets this strangely pleased and like joyful glint, and as they look at Illuvia and they say, "We're comrades now.
Comrades.
We're comrades now." It means I know things like this.
It's not good for her to stay with me.
Good for who?
Her.
Her? Maybe her stress levels whenever you go pulling stunts like this.
Not going to last long anyways.
Not with that attitude.
Unfortunately, I don't have high hopes.
Well, you haven't even given me a chance to try.
What are you going to do?
My very best. And you may just end up surprised.
How sure of that are you?
Oh, very sure.
Really?
What? Think I can't do it?
I have my doubts.
Well, for an alien who swung in.
Kankal just like rolls his eye, and it's just like looks so like the immediate.
Who swung in on his rinky-dink little spaceship and figured out how to run around curing people left and right.
Know what you're talking about.
Well, thankfully for both of us, I can read. So, I do know a thing or two. Besides, I've been working with tunes of all sorts for quite some time. I know a thing or two you may not have thought of.
That confident.
Baby, I was born confident.
So you have a plan?
A few. We both know you're never going to get cured. But you can get better.
And what good would that do?
Stop your organs from rotting out of your body. Stop having to do math on how long X organ is gonna live before you gotta replace it. I don't know, spend 5 minutes out in the sunshine without breaking into shut-in hives.
I don't think I care enough.
About living?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, you've got a very determined little fledgling who's willing to do all the caring for you.
How idiotic.
You? Maybe. I'm still gonna say it's the blood loss for the moment.
Her.
Her? No. She's not an idiot. She's braver than both of us.
Bravery can be idiotic.
What does that make you then?
Nothing much worthwhile now. Pardon the pessimism.
It's excused. You can just say you're scared.
And what does that do for me?
It gives you a chance to save face before I start psychoanalyzing you.
So you're my biggest threat here.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
I could tell Illuvia that you're scared. What? You don't think I can't recognize or cry for help? You know she couldn't do it. Even if you made her. And you know I'm good at what I do.
They look away up from Bon.
So yeah, maybe I am your biggest threat. Because you've given me more than enough to start putting together some pieces about how you're thinking right now.
How am I thinking right now?
That it would be much easier to die than to face the uncertainty of living. To be scared and stuck in your own thought processes. That suffering is hard. And that it's so scary to you, the thought that in the end, it might be worth it. That you might get better. Because then what are you going to do? What do you have left for you? Who do you have left? You don't know. So you're scared. Am I close? Bon, inspects their talons. Just real casual-like. Am I wrong?
I won't say that.
Ooh. Closest thing to an admission you're going to give me?
You're right, and I don't really have much left. I suppose she's the closest thing as the only thing I have left.
Good. I'm glad you've realized. Don't make her stab you again.
Well, clearly, if I do, you will seem to come rushing in.
Yeah, let me tell you, that wasn't fun.
I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
I will take your apology with all of the grace and compassion in my heart.
Ha ha.
I told her I'd do it again, though. Or something like that. And I would. So, next time, you could at least do it when I'm in the other room. So I can not have to fly way too much and way too fast.
Shame you don't have any teleportation spells.
Well, I suppose there's secrets you'll just have to get better to find. After all, I may not be able to use teleportation spells, but it doesn't mean there isn't secrets.
What do you mean by that?
Would you like to know?
Isn't that why I'm asking?
Exactly.
Looks like you got all of my stuff then.
Something like that.
I didn't expect you to be such a threat. I'm sure that'll be boosting your ego.
Right out the door, baby.
It's just, there is a smile that the Kankal tries to hide with that.
No one ever expects the 6-foot-tall Arakakra. With all of the subtlety of a slamming door.
More like a sledgehammer.
You know?
Is this what you want to do?
What?
Help me.
No. I want you to help yourself. There's a big difference there.
At what point would you give up?
At what point will you face the truth? You want to live. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here.
Maybe I just need to get better at dying.
Bon does a stretch. Sort of one wing, the other wing. They can't stretch them out fully, but they give kind of like a, you know.
I can't seem to do either right, though.
Living? Dying?
Yeah. And by the way, she's not mine. My fledgling, you said.
I'll let you two sort that out between yourselves. But trust me, even if you didn't pick her, she picked you.
Is that how that works?
Sometimes.
And Yuya kind of shifts a little bit.
Bon reaches down and rests their hand sort of like on the crown of her head and starts petting her hair.
She kind of settles in a little bit with that.
Yeah. She would make an excellent cleric.
She doesn't have a god to look to.
Doesn't need one.
They don't.
Not if you're strong enough.
I'll give her that. She's plenty strong.
I can't make you want to live any more than you already do. I can't make you get better. I'm not going to make you.
Three months.
3 months?
If whatever you have planned does anything, maybe it can be extended.
Can I get this in writing?
Sure.
Bon finishes petting Yuvia's hair. Goes over to their big ol' pad. Kinda scoops up. There's like charcoal and pencils and all sorts of different grits and whatevers. And they throw them in their shirt pocket, and there's like smears. They've clearly been having those in there. And they flip the page over to a clean one. And they put the pad kind of on their side, and with a flourish twirl a pencil, and they're like, "Shall I dictate for you?"
I can write it myself.
Can you?
Just give me a bit. They kind of try to adjust themselves again. Like, there's wincing with it as they kind of like use their hands. The one with the ivy definitely weaker.
Yeah.
Though, as they try and like get themselves a little bit more upright.
Bon probably watches for a minute before they set the pad down in front of Yuvia, basically, and put the pencil away. And they put one hand in between Kankal's shoulder blades, and they put the other one over Kankal's wound. And they will probably cast one of their higher healing spells. Let me grab their sheet. Because they wouldn't just use a cure wounds, I feel. And it's been 8 hours. Let's see. They could probably do a cure wounds at a higher level.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a glow of green and orange in between their fingertips, and some of the pain goes away. And they kind of help Kankal sit up.
Mm-hmm. They accept that. They don't seem as pale.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that spell is casted. And then kind of like, once they're finished sitting up, they just take in deep breaths in and out.
Bon moves on to adjusting the pillows to help them have that support.
Healing magic.
Healing magic from the cleric.
Makes me feel better for a moment and then it fades away.
Well, maybe if you're good, I could give you a poke every once in a while.
No, I shouldn't get used to it. Besides, I have my own healing.
Bootleg science wizard healing.
It's not wizard.
Ooh. Exciting.
I have a few tricks up my sleeve. And Kankal goes to like reach over to the pad and stops for a moment. And they gently also just pat Illuvia's hair.
Is her hair soft?
Yeah, her hair is real soft. She fucking is great at taking care of her hygiene and like.
Kankal wishes his hair were as soft as Illuvia's right now.
I'll wake her up in a bit. And they stop and grab the pad.
Bon hands him a pencil.
And they adjust themselves, kind of like trying to sit up straight. There's a bit of a lean to it, though, I feel.
Yeah.
And say, they have the handed over pencil and start writing. Would you like any additional classes to this?
An extra week.
Extra week.
3 months and a week.
Fair enough.
Gotta get better from the stabbing. Throwing me behind.
Well, it could be on your toes. On your talons. a lot, and then I won't try to do any more stunts during this time.
Hooray. We'll bake a cake. There's soft indents in the paper where lines from the previous page have embossed.
Any chance they can roll something too?
They could even flip the page back. They can do whatever they want.
Dangerous.
How nosy is Kankal going to be?
Not enough to do it in front of Bon like that.
Amazing.
But they're nosy enough to just, as they're writing, what were you drawing?
Just practicing.
What are you practicing for?
Well, I got a very interesting invitation the other day. For one. Just some rich bastard who knew my mentor.
The painter.
Yeah.
You know, Jester studied his art.
I figured. Something like that.
Quite a fascinating take on things.
I could see it. In the paintings.
I suppose inspiration can be easy to see when you know where it's from.
When you know how to look.
That too. Jester's good at what they do. Like they did.
Oh, yes.
Where are they?
Right now, Gil's place. I'll probably see if I can't liberate them at some point, at least for a little while.
I think they'll be fascinated by where you're going to be taken if you're planning on bringing them here.
Well, I can't bring them back to my fucking apartment. Besides, maybe I could keep them that way.
What way?
Give them all the paintings they could dream of.
I think they'll like that. They can't really paint nowadays. Not like before.
You haven't tried? They haven't tried?
Well, it's different now in their situation. Kankal still finish up writing on the pad.
Have you ever tried having them inhabit a painting that's being painted?
No. There would be the bit of hesitation of if they will stay within that painting like that, or if they will affect the painting that's being painted.
But isn't that the exciting part?
Oh, it is. Unfortunately, I'm not. I didn't have the time to test that out. Or
Artistically inclined in that direction?
yes. I can draw and I can do blueprints and more anatomical things, but painting like they do, it's not something I do.
I'll have to see if I can't talk to them about this fun little experiment.
Do tell me the results.
Well, maybe if you get better, you could sit in on the painting yourself.
You can sign under here.
Bon reads it over.
Yeah, it's very much like a very formal, like,
Yeah.
this is a contract kind of thing.
Yeah.
Specifically like saying that no shenanigery
No shenanigery.
for 3 months and a week. And basically a willingness to participate in anything that will help
Clinical trials.
yeah, participating in clinical trials. Not saying that will be accepted every time, but
Yeah. Bon. It's acceptable for the moment.
for the moment.
For the moment.
Plan on doing any changes on me?
No, not particularly. But you did say if I did a good job.
Yeah. They kind of like add in the other clause of contract could be extended.
Bon nods approvingly. They reach for their shirt pocket and they kind of rub some like chalk or pastel or charcoal onto some of their talons. And where they're supposed to sign, they draw it on with those dirty fingertips. And they sign their name in or on.
There isn't any magic fanfare since I didn't really make this into a magic contract, but
I could get the gazoos out. Perhaps a bagpipe, a menagerie of birds. Perhaps a particularly musically inclined frog.
oh, it's fine.
There you go.
This is acid-free paper, right? Some paper can eat itself if it's laminated.
Ooh, a laminator. Exciting.
Oh, you wouldn't. Well, it's more of the aspect of if you want to keep this as is, not any damages to it, or
No. It's fine. After all, you'll keep this promise, won't you?
They kind of like look at the paper, and their eye kind of like wanders over to Illuvia. Sure.
There you go.
Thank you.
4.
I should get her up.
Before you do. She asked me what I knew about you and a few other things. May have told her you're an alien.
Okay.
Not the other stuff, at least. Told her you are a, as the cool kids say, a fucked up little meow meow. So, you really gotta tell her more of this stuff. It gets really awkward whenever I'm trying to, talk to her about things as comrades do, and she's like, what do you mean Kankal's an alien? And I'm like, whoops.
She didn't have to know any of it.
Little late now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, that bird's left the cage.
The one who knew the most is Narsanabel. Jester had picked up on things. And so I told them some stuff, and other stuff they seemed to grasp at. I honestly wouldn't know how much they knew. They're tricky like that.
Exciting.
I don't know if I'll tell her everything, but at least I suppose I should come clean to her.
At least the alien part. She thought the alien abduction joke was really funny, just so you know.
It's not.
It's hilarious.
Right.
At least your favorite color wasn't green. Then the jokes would have written themselves.
What do you think my favorite color is?
No. No.
It's not just green.
You're telling me. You are telling me that you yellow-coated motherfucker have your favorite color isn't even yellow. Your favorite color isn't even yellow. It's motherfucking green.
Well, it's red and then green.
That's even worse. Is yellow at least your third favorite color?
It's fine.
Oh my fucking god. Bon just, like, they turn and they, like, put their hands on their hip as they stare out the window. They're like, yellow doesn't even make, like, the top fucking 5 for your favorites, does it? I can't fucking believe this. I can fucking believe this. I can't believe this.
My magic comes off as yellow, so.
So?
It was a joke from before. Yeah, it just kind of stuck to me.
Bon is shaking their head.
Something wrong about those. Don't make assumptions.
Of?
Favorite colors. There's like a shit-eating grin with that.
I'm going to dye your hair fucking periwinkle. In your sleep.
Wouldn't I turn more greenish?
Don't underestimate me.
You'll have to catch me asleep.
I don't have to do anything. I've got Illuvia.
Yeah, she could do it. It's just that the most grimace, just like her.
Bon has won.
And with that, Kankal actually now does their best to like lean over, but not fully lean over.
It probably leans over, winces, leans back.
Uh-huh. And kind of just like best to like reach over to Illuvia's shoulder and gently shake her a bit. Wake up. Hey. And Illuvia just kind of like stirs and yawns a bit as she's like rubbing her eyes. And she looks up. Kind of like pauses for a moment. You're awake! And just immediately like goes to hug Kankal.
The sun has come out.
Just immediately like goes to like hug him, and he looks shocked, but doesn't really react negatively to it.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of awkwardly, not holding her and such, and she is hugging.
Big hug.
Big hug.
Big careful hug.
Mm-hmm. And Kankal is very awkwardly like looks up at Bon.
Bon just looks at their talons, looks at Kankal with like a I told you so kind of look.
As soon as that look is gone, and Kankal is just like, ugh. Just look at him. And after like a little bit, you're like kind of pulls out and it's like, don't do that again. I did not like that. That was really, really stupid and dumb. And I got ink all over my dress. Sorry. Are you feeling okay? Or is everything good? Medications? It's fine. You give a look now at Bon.
Bon will move back over and take Illuvia's hand and flip it so they can kind of hover the back of Illuvia's hands over Kankal's forehead, and they're like, feel that? Cold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because Dr. Big Brain over here doesn't have any extra ink, we're gonna have to keep a close eye on them to make sure that they don't get sick.
Okay.
That means washing our grubby little paws whenever we come in and out.
Okay.
The wound itself is probably gonna heal up just fine.
Okay.
And the important thing is making sure that Kankal gets lots of fluids and the important vitamins and minerals that he needs.
Okay. We can probably do a schedule for that. Right here in the room. You ignores Kankal. She is paying attention to Bon.
He's agreed that for the next 3 months and a week, we can see about setting up some trials to try some things to hopefully help improve his condition.
Okay.
I've got a few ideas that we can start soon. I was already planning on introducing some of the ideas, but the timeline's just been accelerated a little.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's mostly right now going to involve making sure I get everything in that I need to and mixing up the stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
I can help with anything.
Yeah, I'll walk you through it later.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Dr. Longlegs is going to be on bed rest for a bit. Terrible place to get stabbed, but I'll come and visit every day if I can and see about encouraging the healing process.
I was wondering something. Would it be possible if I could purchase a wheelchair?
Oh, there's definitely at least one in the house somewhere.
Okay.
We'll just make sure they're tall enough. Long enough? I don't know. String bean size.
Kankal just rolls his eyes.
Kankal also said that he is very excited to talk to you about the alien thing and some of the other stuff that you have all sorts of questions about, I know.
Yo-Yo looks out to Kankal, and Kankal is like, right. Yes. I'll tell you the important bits and parts. You better. I think that's the very least something you can actually give me that I would appreciate. Of course. Good. Thank you, McSpawn.
No problem. Also, I'm going to dig up my medical textbooks on antidepressants and our lovely bedbound patient can give his thoughts on potential mixes that might actually work with their biology.
Okay. I think that's a good step forward. This is not a field I tend to do.
But you love learning.
Kankai just like looks away and the
Fuck you.
fuck you.
I do think, Illuvia, an important thing we should do, like downstairs or in the hallway or something, is keep track. We can set up a big calendar and write down all the important dates and stuff that we need to keep track of for Kankal.
Okay.
And that way we can coordinate even whenever we're not necessarily in the house at the same time. You know what sounds amazing? Coffee.
Let's get some coffee.
We can get some coffee. Kankal cannot have caffeine right now, though. So maybe if Kankal wants, they can have decaf. Do you even like coffee?
I do. Who thinks introduced her to it? Yo-Yo like looks very pleased.
Bon just looks between the two of them and then looks at Kankal and is like, you aren't beating the allegations.
Kankal makes a face. I know how to do Kankal's favorite one. Or like order. Do we want to make it or get it from somewhere else?
I have no idea what's in the house, but
Well,
I'm sure we can find something.
Well, I did buy some instant and some beans that can ground up.
I'm so glad one of us got a nap.
You didn't?
Don't worry about it, kid.
Nocturnal, right. Sorry.
Listen, the less that's said about my sleep schedule, the better.
Maybe I'll prefer whoever's taking care of me to actually have some fucking sleep.
I'm sure your patients thought that in the past, too.
Fuck you. Energy. Right back.
I see you came to the Battle of Wits unarmed, Dr. Kankal. So, we'll hunt down a wheelchair. We'll find up some coffee. I'd kill for a mouse. I'll make a list of everything else.
I can help.
You start with the coffee, maybe the wheelchair.
Okay.
I'm sure if you find a closet, you'll find the wheelchairs.
You kind of like thinks on that, and it kind of makes a face, and just like, that's a lot closet. But she does start to like get up and brush off. She probably is like wearing PJs. It's not a dress. It's just like normal long-legged PJs and a tank top. I can actually see like she has like the purple scales like she has in her cheeks or like on her shoulders and a bit in her forearms. Okay, I'll get started with that. And she like points at Kankal and is like, "You're going to tell me more about all of this stuff later." And Kankal just kind of like raises his hands as if like gun down.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm at your disposal. And she like looks at Bon and is like, "Thank you."
Godspeed.
And she hurries out.
Bon kind of droops a little once she's out of the room.
You should probably take a rest.
They sit down in the seat Illuvia vacated. It probably has like a back to it.
Yeah.
So it's like their wings kind of scrunch awkwardly. And they rest their arms on the bed and prop their face up.
At this point, just get into the bed.
You don't like being touched.
As long as you don't ask me anything, it's fine.
In general, or about the touching thing?
In general.
Bon's head kind of droops a little.
Besides, you have feathers. It's not skin to skin, necessarily.
Really know how to sweet talk him, Doc.
Well, you're falling asleep on me.
Wide awake. Is it an alien thing or a you thing?
It's a me thing.
If I had a nickel for every kind of alien I've had to work with, I'd have a lot of nickels, you know that?
Studio now.
Penguins from the moon. And presumably other guys. There's a little zippy shit and stuff.
Get in here. I can't have you just drifting off like that. That looks heavily uncomfortable. You can have a separate blanket.
I don't need blankets. I'm a bird.
Right.
Bon just kind of flops into the bed and kind of just lays face down in between Kankal and the wall or whatever off the bed.
Kankal kind of like adjusts themselves to get like more room to Bon. I don't think this is probably like a queen size bed or something like that. So there is room. Probably not enough for the wings, but
yeah, Bon probably flops one wing off to the side and the other one just flops over Kankal.
They don't say anything. They just kind of just sink back down. I want to say like adjust to themselves with some wincing.
Bon like puts their arms kind of under their chin. What's so amusing?
Don't say you nap often.
What of it?
How much effort do you have to put in to stay awake during the day?
Like coffee. Best friend. What kind of alien sleep cycles does the illustrious Dr. Kankal have? Diurnal? Insomniac? Insomniac.
Admittedly, this is the most sleep I've gotten for a while.
Bake a cake for you. Do you even like cake?
Illuvia made a cake once.
Exciting times.
It was strange with this sweetened milk. It was good.
You should ask her to make it again.
It was for somebody else, and she just gave me a piece.
She'd like that you remembered it all.
Do you like cake?
I'm a bird.
Yeah, but you're a giant bird with different digestive systems than normal birds.
I don't like heavily processed foods. So no, I don't like cake.
What world to live in then, huh? A lot of the food here is heavily processed.
Tunes. I'm lucky they don't suck ink out of the bottle.
How do you get a small farm of real kind mice? Take your pickings.
Bon cracks open an eye and it's amused. You know that different art styles of mice taste different?
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Don't ever eat a Hausen mouse.
Clay.
It's disgusting.
Which one would you say you recommend?
None of them. If you're lucky, it's like those popping bobas. If you're unlucky, they're like sludge.
Delightful.
Yep.
I'll see what it can do.
What do aliens eat?
On a good day, there are animals that they did farm. The meat is not quite red meat like you all had to be. It's more, well, I can't really tell you. Suppose a combination of fish, but something else. There are plantations and things that grow, but those have been dwindling and now it's turned more into food made by stem cells and things like that.
We love a nutrition slurry.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of the nutrition slurry, admittedly. Even if that was what I had for majority of when I was there.
Fish with a growing string bean.
Didn't really grow. I told you.
Right. Didn't really grow. They rub their face. They're kind of getting fluffier. Like, you know, whenever birds go to sleep, they kind of fluff as they squash down.
Oh yeah. Kankal is also just starting to like
Droop. I bet Illuvia is good at fishing.
She is. Very much so.
When you live on the ocean now, you can have all the fish you could ever want.
She'll be the one that's very pleased by that.
And there you go. 2 birds with 1 fish.
Have you tried fish?
Too many bones.
Mm.
I've never had the time to bother.
Well, don't tell her that.
It just felt like it would be annoying coughing up that pellet.
Did you know the planes are based on some fish bones? The angle of their curve.
What kind of plane?
Airplanes, but not the ones that you. Specifically, the ones in Ghibli.
Oh, the flying things.
Yes.
Kind of ugly. They're just so inelegant. And loud.
They try and mimic what you do.
They suck at it.
Well, gotta give them props. They're not born with wings.
Not with that attitude. I bet any tune who really wanted to could do it.
She knows how to fly.
Illuvia?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a flying fish. You know? Little fish princess.
If the two of you are comrades, then I suppose if the two of you could fly together once in a while. Could be good for her.
If she can keep up.
Don't threaten her with a good time.
The alien wanna fly?
I'm one of those that need machines to do so.
You're not that heavy.
Admittedly, I've never felt the breeze while flying.
You should. It'll fix you. At least a little. You gotta see the big picture, Kankal. Kankal, the big picture.
You think so? What does it feel like?
Flying? Well, it's the best thing ever. Like... the air is carrying you when you do it right.
I heard each bird has different wings to do different maneuvers.
Yeah. Didn't you know? Wing size and feather placement. And the overall shape. Birds.
You miss seeing them, don't you?
What?
Miss seeing birds.
In general?
Our cockroach.
Yeah. Being among brothers kind of thing.
I understand that.
Yeah. Something about birds of a feather.
That's all I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I think they both.
Yeah. I think Illuvia comes back and they are both hunks to me.
She kind of like just like looks at her with like had like the mugs in her hands and such, and she smiles. And then like very carefully sets a few down and kind of digs into her pockets and grabs her
Oh
phone.
my god.
Bon did ask for funny pictures of Kankal.
Click, click.
Click, click. But she doesn't try to wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts the phone back into her pocket and grabs the mugs again. And, I don't know. Actually, she'll put the phone back in her pocket and go over to the window and kind of like close the blinds to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that the sunrise doesn't hit on them too harshly. And just very quietly, like she's practiced this before,
Yeah.
grabs the mugs and leaves the door like ajar. Like,
Yeah.
it's not closed, but there's a little bit of opening there. She's gonna have coffee.
She's gonna have so much coffee.
So much coffee.
All the coffee she could ever want. And they are dead.
They're dead.
They're dead.
They're dead, Jim.
Long day. Long night.
Long everything.
Long leg.
Long wings.
Oh, yeah. Heavy wing.
Heavy wing. Honestly, I think that that helped a little with Kankal falling asleep.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Put his ass to bed.
Put his ass to bed.
Amazing.
Do you think they'll ever talk about this when they wake up?
Absolutely not. Look at them both. I think just for fun, the like scene fades to black, and you get the click of a clock flipping numbers, and it goes dun dun, dawn of the first day. Like day one of however many. 99 days, something like that.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it.
I think it is as well. Good night, Dr. Sunshine.
Good night, now.
Good night, Night Owl.
Good night, night owl.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.